Hello children, so previous lesson we heard about scaredy Sam. What do you mean by scaredy? Scared means to get frightened. Why he was frightened like that? Do you really get frightened normally? No, but something makes them frightened. It is depends upon the mind, how they think and everything. So they get scared of some things because they feel that they have fear of them. Yes? Okay, now let us discuss what we are going to learn today. So we are going to learn, we are identifying the main elements of a story. So if there is a story, what we want to do? We want to identify the elements of a story. Yes? So after reading the story, we want to observe the story very carefully and find the elements. What will be the elements in a story? Let us see. So the elements in a story include the characters. Now coming to Scaredy Sam, what are the characters we observed there? So we observed the living characters. Sam is there, Sam's brother Sid is there, and mother is there. Yes, there are three characters: Sam, Sam's brother Sid, and Sam's mother. So there are three characters. So you want to identify while listening to a story the main elements. So in that every story, first you want to know the characters. Yes. After the characters, you want to find the setting in a story. So what will be the setting in this story? Not only this story, every story. That means you want to try to identify. Not only the story we are reading, every time you are reading any story, you want to identify the characters first. Then you want to identify the setting. Setting means the place where they are staying. You can observe. First they were drawing. Yes, they are drawing the chaos. Maybe they are sitting in their drawing room. They were there in the drawing room. They are doing the drawing. Totally it is the house of Sam. Yes? Yeah. Then mother went into the kitchen. So there is a setting like kitchen. Then also he was scared of what? Corridor means to cross from the room there where they are drawing to the kitchen. They want to move through the corridor and he was afraid of that corridor. So the house is the total setting of the Sam. But we can see the drawing room, the kitchen and also the corridor which really frightens Sam. Yes? Is Sid frightened of that? No, Sid is not frightened of the corridor. Now comes the beginning of the story. What is happening in the beginning of the story? In the beginning of the story, you can write in brief, like, because it's a big story, you can say, beginning, they were drawing and mother called them to have a cake. Sid ran away, but he stayed back because he was frightened of the corridor. Yes? So this is the thing which happened in the beginning of the story. Then what happened in the middle? So children, you want to guess each and every event from the story even after reading any story. Now coming to the middle of the story. So if I take the characters, we can observe that the characters, there are three characters in this story. And if we come to the setting, it is the house. So coming to it, it is the house of Sam. Now coming to the beginning of the story. What is the beginning of the story? In the beginning, Sam was drawing. So Sam was drawing. So Sam was drawing and mother called them to have a cake. So when mother called them to have a cake, Sid ran away but he was afraid and he stayed back. Okay. Now coming to the middle of the story. What happened in the middle of the story? In the middle of the story, Sam was scared of the corridor and unable to cross. Sam was scared. He was scared. He was frightened. Scared, frightened, these are the synonyms. So he was scared of corridor. So he was unable to go into kitchen. Sam was scared of corridor and unable to go into kitchen. Yes, now what happened in the ending of the story? Still, is he afraid of that? No, he is not at all afraid of that. But in the ending of the story, he crossed the corridor and he had won the cake. Yes, So that is the ending of the story. So children, you want to try to find the characters, setting, beginning and middle of the stories and also the ending of the story. What happened in the ending? So you can find a moral that when we are not frightened of something, we are going to gain something. So ending, he was not scared. So he crossed the corridor and got his cave. So who is he here? He is no one but Sam. So it is the pronoun we are using. So in this way, for any story, we want to suppose to find the characters, setting, beginning, middle and ending of the story. You want to try to recollect and find it. So based on this, we can have complete our volume, page number 6, the elements of a story. So first 3 events, you want to write the first 3 events in the story, the Scaredy Sam. The beginning what happened, middle what happened, ending what happened. You want to complete it on your own, just writing in a sentence. Now coming to here, the second question, you want to read the story, The Clever Frog. And you want to fill in the boxes. Can you read? Yes. Just by reading, you want to find the title. What is the title of the story? So if you come to Scaredy Sam, the title is Scaredy Sam because the story is about him. We can write it as Scaredy Sam. Now what is the beginning of the story, middle of the story and ending of the story? After reading The Clever Frog, you want to complete these 4 topics and you want to send it through WhatsApp. The page number 6, you want to complete it. And you want to, any story, whatever story you are going to read, try to guess what is going to happen in the story. Just try to tell the story just by telling about the characters, setting, beginning, middle and ending of the story in small events so that it will be easy for you to remember the story and tell it in very short to your friends, parents or anyone. Okay children, thank you and try to complete your volume.